Max Verstappen displayed a dominant show on last year's Belgian Grand Prix. Despite starting 14th on the grid due to several penalties, the Dutchman went on to win the race, build up a 18-second gap to his second-place teammate, and also grabbed the fastest lap of the race as well. So for this year, the safe bet would be to expect the same result, but with a much more dominant display. Yet, the field behind the championship leader is so tight, there is potential for the grid to shake up with teams bringing upgrades to Spa. Couple of teams to focus on this weekend would be Mercedes, Ferrari and Alpine, as they are the teams bringing the biggest packages to what is a sprint weekend. So, let's check it out. Ferrari are insisting on continuing the development of the SF23 on its own direction, rather than copying Red Bull like some other teams have done. The Italian team introduced what many would call a conceptual change at Barcelona, introducing the downwashing sidepods concept to the Ferrari car. Since then, the team has been able to improve the car's performance, but not to the extent to fight for race wins or even to be able to fight Mercedes, Aston Martin and McLaren. It has been down to the car's poor balance and high tire degradation. The degradation has improved compared to Bahrain, but still its rivals have way better tire degradation. Team boss Frédéric Vasseur talked about the reported upgrades the team has planned for Spa, as he mentioned that the upgrades are aimed at improving the balance of the car. The Italian team did introduce a new front wing specification at the Austrian Grand Prix, which has worked as expected, but the car is still far from optimal, which is why the team has passed on more upgrades to improve the car's balance. As the Mercedes car, the SF23 has lots of inconsistencies, which has tied a lot up to the car's balance. For instance, the tire degradation issues are inconsistent track to track. At Canada, Ferrari pulled off a masterclass strategy with good tire stint performances, but lacked the same tire performance at Budapest. Therefore, the team will be aiming to build up on these issues to improve the car's balance, better optimize their package for Spa, and also improve the car's high-speed cornering performance. Do I expect them to perform here like last year? Absolutely not. But at least I do expect the Italian team to be much more competitive than they were at Hungary last week out. Next, let's talk about Alpine. There is two things that we should focus on when it comes to Alpine. One is their aerodynamic upgrades, and the second is any upgrades to the Renault power unit. Since the power unit homologation has taken place, Alpine team boss reckons that their Renault power unit is at least 20 horsepower down on the rest of the field. 20 horsepower is a big difference, and that could be the limiting factor in Alpine's side if they do indeed have a good aerodynamic package. This is because, essentially every other team in terms of power unit are on a leveled field, and if Alpine are down on power, it begs the question on the need for an power unit homologation. Apparently, the Alpine team boss has discussed about this with Red Bull's team boss, and reportedly, they both are in an agreement to talk about this with the other team bosses over a FIA meeting to allow Alpine to bring an engine upgrade, which will allow Alpine to race in a much more leveled playing field. While the engine might be significant, that is still only in talks and is slated for 2024. But what about the team's prospects for Spa this week? Well, the team did introduce a one-of-a-kind front wing at Hungary last week, and the team is set to introduce a huge upgrade at Spa to build on that front wing upgrade. The Spa upgrade is set to be worth nearly 2/10 per lap. Team principal Otmar has talked about it, and the upgrade is surrounding the car's floor. There's another significant one coming before the break. I hope that too will help because the swing of relative competitiveness does that kind of stuff. There's an upgrade in Hungary but not that big. Then there's a floor in Spa. So putting all that together, and it's all additive, I think we should go well. The Alpine chassis this season has been good on slow and medium speed corners, but high speed corners is where the Alpine car has struggled a lot. Good examples for that are Barcelona and Silverstone. Therefore, Spa has got to be the race where the French outfit corrects that mistake with this new floor upgrade. To improve performances surrounding those weaknesses we have discussed before, the team is said to be bringing updates to the floor edges and to the actual underfloor itself. That is to improve the consistency of downforce generation, to improve the car's rear-on traction zones. The Belgian Grand Prix is a sprint weekend this year, so the team one of 3 practice sessions to optimize its upgraded car. So the team will have to work swiftly. 2/10 of lap time improvement is very significant, considering that the entire pack in qualifying is now only under within a second's difference. Next up the list is Mercedes. Hungary was a rollercoaster ride for the Silver Arrows. While Hamilton was able to grab a surprise pole, his race was disappointing due to the W14's inconsistencies. That brings us to the team's tech genius James Allison. Since his return to the team as technical director, we have not yet seen what he has in store for the W14. The concept revamp that we saw in Monaco, that was prepared under the technical leadership of former technical director Mike Elliott. We expected the team to make detailed changes to the car's aero philosophy under the new technical leadership, but what we saw at Silverstone was only a new front wing. That front wing, according to Allison, was crucial in improving the car's performance on slow speed corners, which they have achieved to a good rate. According to the Mercedes team boss, the team had 2 planned upgrades, one for Silverstone, and other to be introduced before the summer shutdown at the Belgian Grand Prix. The silver arrows still have big weaknesses to solve, like the DRS efficiency, straight line speed, aerodynamic efficiency, and rear downforce generation. These are all much needed parts for a car around the Spa circuit, and Mercedes have planned upgrades just for those aspects. Mercedes are expected to debut revised side pods, revised engine cover, and an upgraded floor specification. The team also will introduce a low downforce rear wing, which I believe will be circuit specific, considering the fast-flowing nature of the Belgian racetrack. Next, let's focus on Williams Racing. Williams had a good race weekend at Silverstone, where a lot of high-speed corners were present. As we all know, the Williams chassis is a very loosened or a very slippery car. The FW45 is a very aerodynamically efficient car that is one down to the minimalist floor the Williams utilizes. But even in Hungary, Alex Albon managed to finish P11 on a track where to perform well, the car requires lots of downforce. That result bodes well for Williams, as the team for sure will be expecting points finish for Albon. And who knows, even Logan Sargent might have a points finish on his way. That is all down to the low downforce requirements of the Spa racetrack. Williams are expected to bring a new front wing for the Belgian Grand Prix, which is track specific. The front wing will be similar to the one brought to Silverstone, but they might make some tweaks to have better straight line speed. My expectations, I expect a strong race weekend for the Williams team, mostly down to the DNA of their car. This might be the last upgrade the team has in store for this year's car, as the team personnel have talked about shifting focus on next year's car very soon. Speaking of next year, let's talk about Red Bull and what they have in store for this weekend's race at Spa. They brought an updated sidepods to the Hungarian Grand Prix. The new sidepods are very minimalist, moving towards a very tight letterbox shape. What that does is it creates a massive undercut, an aggressive undercut. The team introduced it at Hungary, but Helmut Marko mentioned that the team has not been yet able to unleash the full potential of that upgrade. On Saturday, we did not find the right balance during qualifying. In the race we did, but we have not yet fully exploited the potential of our upgrade. So, the first priority for the team would be to optimize its package to the fullest extent. And I expect Red Bull to destroy its competition this weekend at Spa, as we know how much efficient the Red Bull is aerodynamically. I expect will also bring that beam wing which they used at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, which actually was one part of the reason for Red Bull having that massive DRS advantage. The Belgian racetrack is mostly on full throttle, and the first sector is full on long straights, so the Red Bull will be the fastest, at least by 0.6 of a second from the second fastest car this weekend. While the team might bring a low downforce rear wing, they really do not need that, considering how efficient the RB19 is on that medium downforce rear wing. And team boss Christian Horner has talked about the team fully shifting focus on the 2024 RB20, which means that what we would see in the future from Red Bull for this season would be just circuit-specific upgrades rather than substantial performance gains. The last team we are going to look at is Aston Martin. The Aston Martin car was the second best and the real challengers to Red Bull till Silverstone. But since then, their car has been struggling for pace, as Ferrari, Mercedes, and now McLaren have leapfrogged them on the pecking order. So, they would once again fight on the top. Therefore, the team has upgrades planned for the Belgian Grand Prix. Team principal Mike Crack previously mentioned about the team's plans for upgrades, citing Hungary, Spa, and Zandvoort as the 3 races where team has aimed for upgrades. At Hungary, the team brought a new engine cover specification aimed at better cooling. We all know how much reliant on cooling cars are around the Hungarian racing circuit, which makes the new engine cover a bit of a circuit-specific upgrade. Spa is a lot different to Hungary, where straight-line speed is a big playing factor. The MR23 is a draggy car, so the team has planned upgrades to revolve around those aspects. The team is set to introduce a new rear wing upgrade at Spa to improve the car's balance and, most importantly, improving the DRS efficiency. At the start of the season, the Aston car was one of the worst when looking at DRS efficiencies, and they will look to improve that weakness with this new rear wing upgrade. At the season start, the Aston Martin was way faster, but by in-season upgrades, the team has lost that advantage. So they will try to regain some of that lost advantage with this new rear wing upgrade, improving the car's overall balance. So there you have it. These are the big upgrades which we are expecting those respective teams to introduce at this weekend's Belgian Grand Prix. What do you guys think? What are your expectations for the race weekend? Who do you think will be making the biggest gains with their potential upgrade packages? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section down below. We'd love to discuss it with you. And on your way down, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of our future uploads to keep yourselves up to date about the 2023 Formula 1 season.